Wheaton was definitely the best place, for me that I could have ever gone. I look back just making the decision to come to Wheaton. I'm so grateful, for everyone in that process who helped lead me to Wheaton. I feel like I've grown in just so many different ways, looking back to my freshman year, even just thinking about it now, to kind of where I am now, and really couldn't have asked for any better place to be. And honestly, again, that's a testament to all the people that I got to surround myself with every day here.
When I saw him play in high school, I came back and told Coach Banner, he clearly is talented enough, but he is so small. Growing
up as very short, skinny, kind of out-of-place point guard, I think that's really where you have to have a chip on your shoulder to know and go in that, I've put in the work and I deserve to be on the court here.
But to be honest, he wasn't the best player on his high school team, and then he wasn't the best player at Wheaton for 4 years. But honestly, very quickly into his first few practices, I could tell we had somebody pretty special. But he is, by all measure now, one of the all-time great players to ever put on a Wheaton jersey. But he's also going to be the type of young man that you can point back to and say, this is what a star player looks like, behaves like, and acts.
I think looking back early on in my career, I really was afraid to fail. And that's something that we talked about a lot, was throw all your dice out there, put all the chips out there. And don't be afraid to fail. And that's something that we kind of worked on together. And that's really what helped us gain trust. And for me, my past, 2-3 years, I was really able to play more free.
When you get a young man like Tyson, you realize you got something pretty special as a coach, because in a lot of ways, he became the leader of our team. And I just cheered a lot. He just became somebody who really embodies everything you want from a best player.
It's honestly such a great honor, and it's something that, I never really thought was on the table.
I do describe the Jostens Trophy regularly as the Division III Heisman for men's basketball. It really is in many ways the most prestigious award that is given out in men's and women's basketball at the Division III level. It not only measures the basketball ability of the men and women at Division III basketball, but also the academic and service of those individuals. So it's a total award that really encompasses not only just the talent level, but really the most outstanding student athlete in our sport.
The initial feelings were just of gratitude and thankfulness to Wheaton, to Coach Schauer, to Coach Panner, everybody who invested in me during this time.
I thought he was better than people probably perceived. The fact that he wasn't on any All-America lists, preseason lists, surprised me, given the career he had to that point. And I think he kind of carried a little bit of that chip on his shoulder into this season and used that as motivation.
I'm not going to let anybody outwork me. I think that's really kind of where it comes from and stems from, is just wanting to win badly enough to where, you're willing to sacrifice.
One of the things I love about Tyson is he averaged over 5 rebounds a game, and he's not much taller than me. So he just simply was relentless to go rebound the basketball, and knew that given our personnel, that was going to be a potential area of weakness and that he needed to help us there. I honestly believe if I didn't show up for a week, Tyson would have made sure our team did exactly the same thing we did when I was there. And so his legacy will be brought up over and over and over again, whether I'm here or not, because he's going to be on the wall and that trophy's going to be downstairs. The academic reputation of the institution is so high that the students we get here are really self-motivated to do well academically. That matters to them. So they're typically pretty good students on our roster. And then because of their relationship to Jesus, there's a sense that we should serve others and try to model that as Jesus did.
Looking back on the Israel trip and Zimbabwe trip, those are two things, just looking back on my career, that I will never forget. The relationships that we built out there were just so incredible.
Go to the Holy Lands, we're going to do all those biblical sites and really study the Bible on that trip. And our trip to Zimbabwe, which Tyson also went on, we did clinics and did service projects, and we are going to visit historical sites and do some fun stuff in addition to playing some games. But we're going to do it in a different context than most Division III basketball programs.
There's just so many incredible things about those trips. Makes the whole time at Wheaton, and specifically a Wheaton basketball player, just so special.
All he cared about was winning, and that just makes life easy for a coach. Because if your best player cares about that and your best player has his work ethic, it's hard for other people to come up with too many excuses. They sort of follow because he's just such a great leader.